Hey everybody, this is Mattie here with Altcoin Buzz. Hope you're having a very nice day so far and a fine start to your Saturday. Here we are looking at 3 stories, including news about BTC mining pool, courtesy of Christopher. We'll take a look at that story. We'll take a look at what the CBOE is up to by way of Garrett and his take on their potential offering of Ethereum futures. But we're beginning, as always, on altcoinbuzz.io with this article today by Chris. Will Nasdaq bring back the bull markets? You may have heard about this. There's some big news in the last day or so. We just missed coverage of this yesterday in our news video. My bad. But in 2017, writes Chris, the large buildup in the price of Bitcoin was due to the promise of legitimacy with the upcoming futures market. Since then, the price of Bitcoin has fallen almost 70%, but the Nasdaq potentially listing tradable cryptocurrencies in 2019, as well as a potential ETF, could very well spark the next bull market. Again, that's just Chris's opinion. You know, it's not a done deal by any means, but I think he's right. I think those two factors combined could be huge, and this news out of Nasdaq is significant. So that news specifically is the fact that Nasdaq and Gemini have been working on listing cryptocurrencies and making them available for trading. Taking a look here at the ICO journal, you have exclusive Nasdaq source. The listing of several coins will happen in 2019. There are a bunch of actually different angles you can read this article. It's circulating quite widely today, so do be sure to take a look at that. We don't know for a fact which cryptocurrencies are going to be featured, but it does look that they are aiming for sometime in Q2 of 2019 as the start date, according to anonymous sources from Gemini with knowledge of the situation. You guys can take a look for yourselves at what one of those anonymous Gemini sources was quoted as saying right here. And we have to imagine, as is written, that if any of the projects, cryptocurrencies that are going to be listed, we'd have to imagine that Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be available right off the bat for trading, since the SEC has already deemed that they are not securities. And both of them have been up recently, actually about 3% at the time of this article in the last 24 hours. So I see this as quite encouraging because there has been all of this NASDAQ chatter. But if these anonymous, again, they are anonymous sources, but if they are to be believed, then all of a sudden this pins down quite a specific date. That Q2 2019 date is something, you know, a little bit particular. So it seems like that detail is fleshed out nicely. If you want to read more about what those anonymous Gemini sources have to say, it's a long quote. We're not going to read all of that out, but do be sure to check it out and let us know what you think about this in the comments below. Is a NASDAQ listing a good thing for cryptocurrency, for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the space at large? Let us know your thoughts. In other news here by Christopher, BTCcom mining pool launches Ethereum operation. So BTC.com, which is the world's largest mining pool, which produced over 20% of all mined Bitcoin over the past 12 months, announced that it has opened an Ethereum mining pool on Thursday. The mining pool will support both Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, so ETH and ETC, and users will have the ability to shift between the two ETH hash-based cryptocurrencies to enhance their profitability, depending on the current difficulty. Pretty good news, I'd say. And then you have Zhuang Zhang, director of BTC.com's mining pool, who said, quote, because contracts are charged per line of executed code and miners are rewarded for dedicated hashes using Ghost, Ethereum provides multiple different reward incentives to contribute hash power to the network. So with this in mind, it's expected that there's going to be 12% growth of the total hash rate of Ethereum within the network over the course of the next 12 months, according to BTC.com. So pretty good news on that frontier. Let us know what you think about that, whether you're a user of BTC or otherwise, what you think about this particular endeavor. But little by little and step by step, we're moving ahead. That's the name of the game. Finally today, guys, not too long a video, not too much going on. Again, the big story, of course, is the NASDAQ news, but article here by Garrett. The CBOE may be gearing up to offer Ethereum futures. Yesterday, Business Insider cited an unnamed source who claims that the CBOE is planning to launch futures for Ether. If this is true, it could mean a lot for Ethereum. Now, being Business Insider, they always seem to be behind a paywall, but if I hit refresh here, you have a sense of what they're talking about, and you can check it out for themselves. Maybe if you're subscribed, you can read that article, but we'll link to that, as always, in the description below. So the CBOE, the Chicago Board Options Exchange, has begun setting the stage for their Ethereum futures product. The CBOE plans to go live with their Ether futures market by the end of 2018. The exchange would use price data from the Winklevoss twins Gemini exchange, which also provides the CBOE with the price data for the current Bitcoin price. And in the context of this kind of move, we have to remember what Garrett's pointing out is the fact that the SEC deemed Ethereum not to be a security. But given that that's the case, with a potential listing, Ethereum could on the CBOE exchange be longed or shorted if this particular listing is approved. That's what we got to keep in mind in this situation. So as Garrett suggests, it's reasonable to assume that speculation of Ether will increase in the time leading up to the futures decision. But if we compare that to what happened on November 1st of 2017, that's when the CME futures were announced for Bitcoin. This was followed by that 208% increase. So just because it's a similar setup, it's a similar structure and product, we can't necessarily expect, as writes Garrett, a 208% gain for Ethereum just because it's mirroring what happened with Bitcoin. This is a bit of a unique situation and its own thing. So let us know what you guys think about this, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. I know some of you are more pro and some of you are not so keen on things that the CBOE gets their hands on, and this kind of reeks of institutional meddling to a certain extent for some, and there's nothing wrong with that. But let us know what you think, positive or negative, in the comments below. Again, if you are subscribed to Business Insider, you can get behind the paywall. Check out this article. We'll link to that in the description below. Don't forget, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army, our big giveaway with CoinGecko. We're going to link to that in the description just below, so make sure you enter. There's 9 ways to enter. If you haven't already, do be sure to do that. And make sure you're following Altcoin Buzz and Altcoin Buzz News. We're also on Facebook, Telegram, Instagram, as you know. Catch up with our latest video here on the right, as well as latest articles on altcoinbuzz.io. Everybody out there, have a great weekend, a great Saturday. We will see you again soon in a new video. Have a good one.